back to the Ascendant Lands. Last time we left off, we had an emotional ride with Deszeldmiir and Krusk in Savras Bowl, where at the end of their time in Savras Bowl, they sought out a seer, a person who gave them each 5 questions to ask and have answered via the method of tarot, which arguably may or may not have been helpful or not. Who knows? It's all an interpretation. And now you're all back together in Helm City, preparing your last efforts to make your way down to the Port of Eldath before heading further into the wilderness to the Pool of Eldath. You have 6 days left on the 7 days head start that you agreed with Gel, and it is about I'd say about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You are in your interplanar house, and it is yours to have fun with.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about whether it was any cop to have gone to that seer, I think. And then pretty much.
Oh yeah, we were making fun of it.
Shall we get on with it then?
Yeah.
You very clearly stated it was a pointless exercise and that we should just go.
Yeah. They were already telling us that what we're doing is dangerous, even though that's yeah. All right, yeah.
It's not.
What were we? We're in the morning. We're in the
Hmm?
morning, aren't we? Because they were going to come back in the morning.
Yeah,
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
You get a 1 o'clock slot.
Fair enough. So yeah, shall we head off?
Duh.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Off we go.
Yeah,
I guess.
Off we go.
Off and away you go. So, wrong thing. So you head south to the Port of Eldath. So, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you leave, and you probably only get, although you don't need to stop to find camp like you used to. So you don't need to stop as early as you would have, but the days are getting shorter close to oral time you get. And what's this? So the days are getting shorter, and so while some of you have night vision, Nadia does not, and neither does the horse. So
2 people who are leading the way.
Well, I've
So
got.
On the other hand, we do have a lantern.
I'll say I think I have an ever bright lantern, don't I?
Got a fucking torch.
Do we?
Yeah, I've got I've got a.
Mysteriously disappeared.
No, I've got an ever bright lantern. So it sheds a light of 120-foot cone, 60-foot bright light, and then 60-foot dim light. So with this, then if people are having issues, she'll like hook it somewhere.
On the cart.
Yeah, in the front of the cart next to Nadia.
Have the headlamps on.
Yeah, basically, literally. Yeah, and
Yep.
it's basically produced by continual flame spells. We don't have to fill it with oil or anything like that. So yeah, and I don't need to attune to it or anything. So
okay.
yeah, here you go. This should help.
So that lantern does help to an extent, but it's not a full-on replacement for proper daylight. So you won't be able to travel effectively non-stop.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
We still need to sleep after all.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
We don't have to stop just because the sun's set.
Yeah, because the horse will obviously need to rest as well, even if we could swap out between us.
Indeedy. Okay, so you make your way. So you get to a point in the evening that you find is a suitable time to stop, find a safe enough clearing, and all enter your interplanar home again for the evening. What would you like to do? Is there anything you want to do? If not,
I have plans.
do you want the room or do you want that?
Sorry, what?
Do you want the room, or do you have to stay where you are on the
Map-wise.
map?
Oh, on the map.
Do you want them to play in the house, or do you want?
No, I don't think that's like wildly necessary.
Cool.
Talari will be in the kitchen, just so you know where she is.
You're only in to play in a house. Nice and safe to go.
Talari is working on her cookery.
Mm-hmm.
Nadia is gonna corner Krusk to ask him about paladin bullshit again. Sorry, Haiss, making you talk.
That's okay. We can say Krusk has a cold as well.
Krusk.
Got
Sorry,
this from
the idea.
Sapper's Bowl.
Yeah.
Cold in Savage Bowl. Sorry for the idea. I could totally see Krusk doing that with him, like pulling a handkerchief out of his like plate armor to close. Sort of like got a pocket in that chainmail trousers.
This definitely seems like the kind of thing he'd have.
Yeah, it's like the kind of thing you wouldn't even blink if he actually did. What's he up to now he's stopped for the night?
He's probably flying around outside, to be honest. I imagine that's what he does like a lot of the time. He just like flies around on Tamarind.
Yeah.
Practicing like new maneuvers and stuff.
Well, so we're actually thinking about, we're supposed to be training, aren't we? We're supposed to be like doing paired up training.
Yeah, you know, his training for Krusk is like part training, part just mucking about.
Yeah, well. Yeah, in that case, if Krusk is flying, Nadia's gonna go and stand in the training ground and shout until he comes down.
Yeah, he'll come down.
Krusk, I wanna talk to you!
Oh, how exciting! He'll come down.
Exciting.
What's the trouble, Nadia?
Do you think you can teach me how to do paladin things?
I can try. Is there anything in particular you wanted to do from being a paladin?
No, but it comes with a certain amount of power, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, obviously to be used in the service of your beliefs, but yeah, you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
And a power that I don't know how to use is an accident waiting to happen.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
I'm not having that bullshit again, so I need to learn how to harness it.
Okay. Why don't we I'll like gesture to like maybe a bit of the training ground that like no one's using at the moment. I'll be like, should we take this over here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And you know, as you know, I'm quite durable, so don't worry. Feel free to
Shall I
cut
will have
loose.
my head if I damage you?
It's okay, I'll just sleep it off.
Injuries work, Krusk!
I don't know what it is, you know, I feel like a good night's sleep fixes most things.
But there were training dummies. Surely I should use one of them instead.
I suppose you could. I guess it depends on the nature of sort of your paladin powers and your oath. I mean,
Don't even think I have one yet.
do you remember what it was? What you were kind of feeling when you got your powers? Did it make you feel anything? Did it make you think about something?
Angry.
Okay. Angry towards...
All those gnolls and demons that were tearing up the countryside, mostly.
Okay. Okay.
It's for
Do you think you could...
protecting people.
Okay. Do you think you could recall that feeling easily, or do you think it's something you could kind of put yourself back in that moment?
Can try.
Okay. I'm just seeing if I've got anything which can help. I don't think I do. Okay. What I want you to do is don't necessarily focus on your power or doing something in particular. I think you should just try and take yourself back to that moment in time. And whatever you need to do that, close your eyes, get comfortable, whatever. Draw your sword even. I don't know, whatever works for you. Just try and get yourself in that frame of mind.
Right. Then what?
The thing about paladin abilities, at least from when I was a paladin, is it's all about that ideal or concept or whatever it is, anger, rage, desire to do justice, whatever it is that you want to do. I feel like the power kind of flows on from those feelings. So you need to be able to have enough control over yourself that you can switch yourself into that mindset and channel it towards something that emits from you.
She
But
thinks the idea of her having a modicum of self-control is very funny. She
Yeah,
was being like really tense, and then Krusk is like, "Yeah, you need to have that amount of control over your emotions." She's just fucking lost it.
I mean, it could even be simple as something as just letting your emotions run wild, to get you back to that moment. I mean, obviously, for each paladin, it's different. I've heard, some paladins follow more wrathful gods of battle. Obviously, mine was Tyr. So whenever I wished to channel Tyr, I had to. I mean, I was always thinking about this stuff anyway, to be honest with you. But I had to channel those, that desire to like do justice, do good, and my powers kind of naturally flowed from there. Yeah, if you've got, I mean, Nadia doesn't really follow a deity, does she? I was always suggested.
She's not a deity paladin, no.
Yeah, so I don't think that would work. What I'll say is, if you, I know you're good with like woodwork and stuff. You could, if there is something you could craft, like, well, you did your
I have a
you have your
symbol.
tattoo, right? Yeah.
Holds up the paint, her hand with the paint all over it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's great. I mean, yeah. I mean, normally if we follow gods, we have like a symbol of our god. But I mean, that would be perfect for you. Maybe if you focus on that, maybe that could be your sort of medium. Try and channel through that.
All right. My other trouble is I don't know what I'm expecting to happen. I don't know what I've got.
Well, as a paladin, you can usually heal people. So maybe if you kind of lend your thoughts towards sort of healing and restoration, maybe we'll be able to do that. You can. Have you smited anyone yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Why don't we start with that? I think that'll be a good starting point for you. You see
Hitting
that
something
dummy over
really
there?
hard is something I can definitely do.
Yeah, I think that's a good first step. Now that I think about it. So I think, why don't you you see that dummy over there? Why don't you picture it as one of those demons or gnolls or one of those other creatures that you were talking about that you hated? Just go up to it, really focus on one of those creatures, really imagine it on that dummy. Focus on that mark on your hand. Just give it a big old swing. And just
She looks at the training dummy that Krusk has pointed out. And then she looks over at the training dummy that Desi keeps setting up to look like that fucking demon.
The pit fiend, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You can practically see the like, why bother with imagination kind of thought like running over her head. And she does that thing, when like, I don't know, an athlete is nerving up to do like a jump or something where they like they tense themselves up and they shift to make sure they're ready, that kind of thing. Yeah, like she gets the axe out and has it in both hands and is absolutely doing that shifting, like, have I got a comfortable grip? Am I in the right place? Like I'm like nerving herself up sort of thing. Doing the like, I'm imagining this thing is real kind of thing. And then sprints across the training ground and absolutely decks it. And as she does, I mean, who else is out here? Krusk is absolutely paying attention, but I don't know who else is.
Desi's inside.
Thoradin, you outside,
Have
inside?
to.
I don't know. I was thinking he'd probably be training with the guys. Maybe inspecting, overseeing.
Supervising.
As the most experienced in the party, he's should be overseeing this stuff.
Racing over, perhaps, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
absolutely decks it, and you guys can see like the outline of like an avalanche or something come down behind the axe strike. Bam! Splits in two. And Nadia just stands there like she is the one who has been struck. Like,
I'll start scapping. There you go. I knew you had it in you. How'd it feel?
He's being totally ignored. She's got like this proper 1,000-yard stare going on.
Oh, I think that went pretty well.
Just very slowly turns to look at him and says very quietly, "Does it always feel like that?"
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe slightly worse over time, but nah, it's a great feeling.
Good. I'm just gonna sit down now. And she literally just
Yeah.
straight up falls over. Like sits, does that thing where you sit down because you're about to fall over anyway, and just like flops on the floor.
Yeah, good progress.
Thanks.
Yeah, anytime.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that very often.
No, it takes a lot out of you. I mean, just a tip: if you can really push it by really, yeah, you'll probably get fine in control over time. But what you'll find is that sometimes you can really push it, and sometimes you can let out just a little bit of the power. But yeah, it's something you get used to.
Alright. Have a starting point, she says, from the floor, like raising one arm.
Nice. I like clap, like like a kind of high five, like clap.
High fives, pulls herself up the reins of the training dummy just to stand up again. Okay. At least it's not likely to happen by accident.
No, that is true. You need to really want to do it.
Good to know.
Yeah.
That's the bit I need. I'm not having this happen by accident.
No, it shouldn't be.
She's gonna like lean on whatever's nearest, probably the training dummy.
Remnants, most likely.
Half the training dummy. If she leans too hard, it'll fall over. I think I might have wrecked my ability to do any more sparring for the rest of the day, sorry. Sorry, Thoradin.
That's okay.
You'll have to fight Krusk instead.
I'm more than ready.
Don't you guys have a score to settle?
I've already won.
Yeah, that's true. You have,
Whoa,
godlike,
whoa.
you have godlike strength now, but
Yeah,
Krusk has a dragon.
your
And you wanna
dragon
go test
versus
server
my
Odin?
strength. Yeah, take on your dragon 1v1. Let's go.
You
I
got one
don't
the dragon? Just the
I
dragon
don't really
or
want-
both of them?
I don't really want
Well-
you hitting Tamaran, to be honest.
I mean, really, we should be training to fight against the dragon if we're going to be stealing dragon eggs.
I'm not
You're
cool
not-
with the idea of us wailing on Tamaran. He's funny that always true.
It's not real. He can come back, right? It's
Nah,
fine.
he'll be upset.
He doesn't feel pain. It's fine. Krusk, don't worry.
I'm not sure you can guarantee that, Fred.
No!
Well, you can ask him, but I'm sure.
Tamaran, do you mind? It's for a good cause. I promise. I wouldn't make you do this otherwise. Do I get like a sense of anything from Tamaran? Does he mind?
He's chill. If
He's
you
chill.
don't, if you don't mind, Tamaran doesn't mind.
I mean, I kind of mind. I'm not sure.
I'll pull my punches if you want to, Krusk.
All right. Let's say no gratuitous violence.
Okay, no weapons. I'll just use fists.
Okay, and no enjoying it. It's purely for training.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that works for me then. We can train using Tamarant.
Nice.
Cool. So you can train away to your heart's content until sleep wants to take you over.
I'll
Is there
demonstrate a new maneuver, and I'll like grow my own wings and fly off from Tamarant in like a two-pronged attack on Thoradin.
Oh wow.
I mean,
Well,
I
I've
can
got
fly.
two
I can
hands.
fly myself.
I mean, the thing is, you can just keep range, right? Thoradin has 0 range.
Actually, I mean, in a real fight, I would just fly and just bomb Thoradin.
You
basically.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
I was
pry him from above.
I've got a
yeah.
javelin.
Yeah.
That's it. Like. It's
Yeah.
not-
Don't you have winged boots, Thoradin?
Yeah,
as well?
Thoradin's got
Oh,
the
yeah.
wing
Oh,
boots
yeah.
now. Oh,
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
I could
you
fly.
could like
Surely,
run up.
surely I could get them off his feet and just
No,
watch
they're
him.
you-
attuned,
right.
aren't they? The boots are attuned, so
How the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
could you just
That's
pull them
funny.
off his feet? Have you ever tried getting a shoe off of someone who's not cooperating? Because it isn't an
It's
easy
no.
task.
It's very much
yeah.
not.
Try getting docs off anybody is a nightmare at the best of times.
Yeah. Sonny is saying that from parenting
I was
experience, I
about to
think.
say,
Yeah.
parenting experience, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pain in the ass.
Also, if you were trying to remove a shoe that isn't cooperating, you're right in the right range for a kick to the face,
Hmm.
Oh yes.
which is never a pleasant thing.
Luckily, my arms are longer than children's legs, but yes,
Yeah.
they can still get you by surprise.
Yeah, they
Yeah. That's part of parenting, is
Oh,
being
yeah.
accidentally beaten up by your kid.
Yeah, accidentally, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The kids know what they're doing.
They have a look in their eyes. They know exactly.
exactly. That might is my chance.
He's close enough. Quick, grab his nose.
Mm.
Matt, before she goes to sleep, Nadia also wants to pray to, oh fuck, I've forgotten the name. The goddess whose pool of Eldath. That's the one. The goddess whose pool we're going to play silly buggers in.
Okay,
Just to tell her we're using her as bait because it seems polite.
smart.
Just like literally, just like it's like leaving a voicemail. Hi, hope you're well. No, that's not what she was saying. But yeah, just along the
It
lines.
was more like a memo through the letterbox, really more than.
Yeah, to whom it makes sense. Just so
Yeah,
you're aware.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going here. We're using this pool as bait for a demon. Hope you don't mind because we've done it now. In fact, that is actually possibly how it's going to go because she's not feeling 100% there at the moment after the whole smiting thing. You get a slightly rambly, like, yeah, so we're going here and we're doing this, and it's totally for a good reason. And I hope you don't mind because we've already organised it, and maybe we should have asked first. Oops.
I'm sure that'll go down well. So, is there anything
Probably
else?
had worse.
Is there anything else anyone wishes to do for this evening during your long rest? No?
No.
Wondering. Okay, so in the morning, you have to get up, get on the road, and keep making your way down south. Something you notice on your way down is that a lot of people are there's the traders that you like ride past as you go. You can actually notice that they're like trying to sell furs, and every now and again when you're trying to stop to rest the horse for whatever reason, someone will just make a slight comment around, oh, it's getting colder every year around this time. I swear it's getting colder. And in wintertime, it does get colder. They are correct. But everyone seems to want to talk about it for whatever reason.
Oh, we just found out they're
like
all
the British.
British.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the British, nothing better to do than discuss the weather.
Yeah. As is the old fortune. Yeah, but your travel is more or less undisturbed. It's steady going. You go over like a river, and the bridge for the river is you have to basically walk the horse over because of the slippery nature of the bridge. But it's nothing that's out of your capacity as adventurers to do. And if there's nothing else you guys want to do throughout your travels, then your evening will come. And is there anything else you wish to do in your second evening?
So part of the tonight's
Training.
training, Talari wants to sort of remind the group. So remember, I have my spell that increases the healing I can do to all of you. Now the problem is we've had this in a couple of fights that. I mean, granted, the last one we were separated, and I was hiding, so there was a bit of a different situation. But I need to ideally start whenever we start fighting, or just before we're about to start fighting. if I can cast this spell, and it doesn't take very long, before anyone starts fighting, it'll be way more beneficial. You don't then have to stay anywhere near me. As long as you're within 30 feet at the beginning, that I can cast it, you can all do whatever you want. And then for a minute, and we've done it before, means all my healing will heal you the best it can possibly do, which is going to be helpful in the coming fight. Also, you know, it will help you regain, maintain your life essence if for whatever reason you fall unconscious, and various other benefits, like keeping your wits about you and so on and so forth. So, yes, I would advise that you all, at least at the very beginning, let me cast this spell first, please.
Okay, we should have a JC huddle before we go into any fight. You know,
I mean, assuming
combine
this,
hands.
assuming
and
this.
then-
I mean, you don't.
Okay.
You just got to stand within 30 feet. I mean, we you know,
okay.
but you know, you don't have to do anything like that. And I'd rather you didn't, to be honest.
Well, obviously not going to agree
No.
to any plan that involves
Yeah.
holding hands.
No,
Thoradin.
no.
Fist bump? No. Okay.
No, no. You're lucky. You're luckily I'm willing to touch you for cure wounds.
Yeah, no, don't. No physical contact is pretty much
No.
a remit.
Yes,
Let's keep it that way.
exactly. But yes, I would advise that you at least allow me to use this if the situation allows us to.
Just be as quick as
Yep.
you can off the mark with it, I suppose.
Well, you know, I try, but sometimes you guys are faster.
And let us know when you've done it,
I mean, you'll know.
so that we're not hanging around like waiting.
Yeah, you'll know because I'll be casting a spell, and you know,
True, I suppose.
you know.
Yeah, but Talari, if something's trying to stab me from the front, I'm not necessarily worried about what you're doing behind me.
Fair enough.
Do
I
we get
will.
a tingle or anything? Or
I mean, you will feel it. Like I said, it will bolster you up. But
Did you feel a tingle last time?
You feel a little tingle?
I mean,
You could do it now.
or
I mean,
a little boost.
yeah, that's
like-
true. Yeah, I mean, I can. Yes, I can cast it on you and see if you can feel a tingle. I guess Thoradin.
Do I feel anything? Anything
She'll-
warm
Yeah,
inside?
she'll cast it. She'll cast Beacon of Hope. And so
Was it
everyone.
tingle?
Was it? Was it? I know,
I don't know.
that's up to Thoradin where he decides to feel a little tingle. But
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it gives
I
you
imagine a little warm feeling.
probably
you
yeah.
know, a little
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah, it doesn't actually specify anything in the spell, like if it has any visual or any kind of effect, but
Get
Yeah.
to make it up then, don't
Yeah,
you?
basically.
Bestows hope, bestows hope and vitality. So
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
you feel hope, I guess. That's probably the
Feel hopeful and vital. There you go.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I guess so.
how you internalize hope and vitality is how it feels.
So just
Or spring in your step.
yeah, exactly.
Dunno.
So whatever you just felt now, that's most likely what you're gonna feel again when I cast it. And then
That's
obviously
interesting.
after that's happened, you can go and beat things up as you wish. It lasts for about a minute, so a lot can happen
You
in a
can beat
minute.
most things up within a minute.
Yeah, we're very efficient.
Although, this does create a new question.
Hmm.
Who's going to be bodyguarding Talari?
Yes.
I can. I'm the most
Yeah.
mobile other than Desi.
You are, but you're also like the least capable of taking a hit.
Well,
I'm pretty tanky.
Yeah, you. No, you're pretty canny. She's gonna like knock on the armor. If something manages to get through this,
I actually found out I can get even more durable than I have been before.
all right. What, via magic or?
Yeah, I have a spell which will make me more durable.
but this is the problem, Krusk. Like if someone throws a spell at you,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's
like-
probably not gonna.
You're
Yeah,
all right if
unfortunately.
somebody's like waving a dagger at you or whatever, but you seem to have trouble with other spellcasters.
That being,
I mean, if I focus more on being defensive, I can use my counter spells.
Mm.
But I'm normally focusing on like firing off big offensive spells as well.
I mean, Krusk probably makes the most sense because you know, realistically, I'm not going to be in near the front line, and Krusk is the only other person who primarily is ranged.
Well,
Plus, if someone tries to grab Talari, there's the dragon. I can teleport with him. Sorry.
That's very true.
there is, and she's got her flying thing.
Mhm.
It's more that, yeah, okay, you're not supposed to be on the front line, sure, but last time we were fighting, the front line came to you.
True.
There isn't
true,
a
but-
front line when there's only 5 of you.
Well,
There's not enough of us for a fucking line.
one thing I wanted to try out in one of our training exercises is if me and Krusk took to the skies for the entire duration of the fight,
Mm.
then that could work. My broom just will work indefinitely, I believe.
True.
And I assume there's no limit on the dragon of Tamarant.
No, he
So
lasts
it-
like 8 hours.
So in theory, me and as far as we're aware, Bale would have to cast a spell to be able to fly. Obviously, we don't know what else is with him apart from a machine. But
And
but-
some
Can't they do magic, though? Can't they just...
sure. But then while they're
Exactly.
focusing upwards, they have to look at us for that. I'm sure that will give the rest of you advantage. They can only
Yeah,
focus on one
true.
person at a time.
Also, I can summon the dragon twice because I've got Tamarand in my ring of spell storing, so I can summon him again like instantly if
Handy.
something happens.
Oh, right, I thought you meant you could summon him twice at the same time.
Oh, I wish that would be amazing.
Yeah,
It's
that-
like, how is he in 2 places at once?
Can you use
No.
it both? Get a two-headed Tamarand somehow?
That would have been amazing. No,
You know?
sadly he's in my ring of spell storing, so
Okay.
I can like up and back
Right,
up.
I
And I
see.
just
You can summon him back up, can you?
yeah, yeah. Also, I just remembered I can summon the elephant as well, so yeah, I can have a lot like defending us.
You keep forgetting that, poor elephant.
Yeah, I know, poor guy. Yeah.
For some reason, I've got winged boots in my inventory. I don't know why. I'm assuming that was supposed to go to somebody else.
The Deszeldmiir
Because-
gave them to you.
Right.
We
Yeah,
gave them
Des
to you
gave them
to
to you.
go up the mountain, and then we decided
Then you wanted
Nadia
to
should
bring-
have them, but then Nadia never took them, so now you've got
That's
them.
because Nadia has already got more magical items than she knows what to do
Look,
with.
I'm not having any judgy moments. I'm just explaining history.
And I'm just explaining why I didn't take them.
You don't need to explain yourself to us. I'm just saying, winged boots, flying barbarian, super helpful. Thoradin knows.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
very true. Oh,
Worth
I guess
bow and
I
arrow.
guess I'll keep them if I don't know, if the situation comes through or someone breaks my broom or something. I don't know.
Krusk sits on it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's
Yeah, you
magical,
broke
so
my
it should.
bow.
It's magical, so in
happens.
theory it should be okay.
Pass through.
I mean, you don't have to attune to it, so I assume it's like, able to. I mean, it can. Hang on, it actually says, doesn't it? £400. It can carry about It says, well, it can carry about. It can carry about £400. I don't think Krusk weighs about that much, right?
I'm not that heavy.
Sorry.
Even with all the armor on, no.
So it should be okay.
It's definitely an idea, although don't you have to touch us to do like most of your healing stuff? And if you're flying around in the air, you won't be able to do that.
I only need to do that with cure wounds. My other stuff can be done at a distance, and while they are weaker spells, they can affect multiple people.
Yeah.
These other ones, and with the Beacon of Hope active, it doesn't really matter if they're weaker because they'll always be.
So really good, yeah, okay.
But yes, if I
Also-
have to descend, then I have to descend. It's not, it's the limit how much. Maybe that's something. Another thing we could practice is the whole kind of getting flyby healing, as it were.
Yeah, I'm done.
I assume I would still. I don't think the thing stops me from triggering opportunity attacks. No.
If you go within 5 foot or within the range of the person or creature, then they can.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're leaving their range, then they can fire off opportunity attack.
But then again,
But certainly
if we style it out, so Krusk sort of, I mean, obviously depends on positioning in space, but like Krusk is in front, so if they couldn't actually get me because he's in the way. But again, obviously if they're right on top, then that's not really going to happen. But
Yeah, formation flying. Although you're gonna watch out, difficult to fly in formation with a dragon that's got to flap its wings.
that is true. But this is part of the practice, right? As best as we can get in the time frame, I guess. But I think, I think that's probably what me and Krusk should be focusing on in the time that we have is practicing these aerial maneuvers,
Alright.
and then you three can figure out whatever.
Practice everything else.
Yeah, I guess whatever combinations you need.
We need to practice attacking you. So
some
that
really,
Krusk can
really.
practice bodyguarding.
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly. Maybe you want to do some kind of back-to-back maneuver, three-pronged back-to-back. But so
I
then.
think that would work because, like, Desi's far more maneuverable than Thoradin and me.
I suppose so.
Don't lock me down with these two. They'll just squish me in the middle, and then whatever axe movement is coming is gonna hit me.
Fair enough. That does make sense. Yes.
That is very rude. I do not hit my allies with my
No,
axe.
no, not your axe, but the enemy axe. Because
Oh, I see.
undoubtedly, with my luck, you
Someone will
two
swing
would
at us
somehow
and hit
completely
you.
avoid it. While I'm stuck, I can't move like I usually do. I'll be hit.
That's fair. But then we do always
Yeah.
seem to run into the problem of Desi being isolated and then ganged up on as well.
You gotta go out and come back like this.
Yeah, like go out, attack, come back to the group
Come
kind of
back.
thing.
So then when somebody runs at you, we can get in the way.
I don't suppose you have
I
any more of
guess
that growth
makes
potion
sense.
left. Do you?
Why? Who do you want to give it to next
Oh
time?
no, I'm just saying, like, it could be a useful thing for Desi to grow large again. It was a very useful thing in that fight.
It was quite useful. I mean, I became a blockade, but yeah, no. it was
Yeah.
I mean, if someone tries to come up to me and Krusk, you could kind of like grab them and throw them back down.
yeah,
No, kind of ordeal.
No, I just bought healing potions after that. I didn't really think
Wow.
about getting big again.
Actually, then again, I suppose in the whole
You didn't have
grabbing.
a very good time of it, to be fair.
I wonder if like Thoradin grew really big and then he just slammed the ground with his his lead hands, if it would cause any kind of shockwave.
I don't know. Does it cause a shockwave now?
I don't know.
Can you make a little crater?
What happens if you like
Thoradin smash.
ground pound the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I still feel it.
You don't. Yeah, well, yeah, you feel sensation, don't you, in your hand still? But
Hmm.
It wouldn't hurt.
I don't think it would hurt.
Ground pound.
Be interesting to see if it does have any like an effect, but probably not because you are quite small, so it'd be like localized.
Hmm.
But it probably would have very much like damage that ground, right? You are going to put a hole in the floor, whether it's made out of grass
yeah.
or stone.
I could cause some cracks. With God's strength. Even though
Don't
I'm
know
smaller.
don't know how much use that would be in most fights.
True. Just an idea. Right, then yeah, Talari will just kind of practice trying to stay on, because she's practiced staying on the broom and casting spells by herself, so she's kind of okay with that, but as was pointed out by
Swooping in.
Nadia, she's going to have to stay there, cast spells, while this big-ass dragon is flapping its wings. Right, pretty much within, quite close proximity to her, so she's going to have to try and maintain balance and concentration while doing that.
And somebody's trying to knock you off the broom.
Yeah.
And see if you can get close enough in behind me while I'm firing arrows at you.
Basically, yeah. So that's how she's gonna aim her practice.
Live target practice. Let's go.
That's it.
Blunted arrows, of course.
Of course,
Of course.
of course. Was it sandbags on the front or whatever it is?
Yeah, like you get little stoppers to put on the front,
Mm.
and so they're not such a narrow thing, and they just give you horrendous bruises rather than actually sticking into you.
That's all right. She's got enough spell slots to cure that, so that's fine.
Using cure wounds on herself to get rid of the bruises. I like it.
Bruises are evidence of touching.
It was an arrow. It's like
Don't touch me.
touching twice removed,
Still thinks touching her. Doesn't like anything. No.
especially with her arrows.
Yeah.
Okay, so this evening is well spent training and making the most of your new opportunities you have. Should be fun. And if there's nothing else anyone wants to do during your long rest, no,
No.
cool. So your morning comes around, and it is a bright, shiny day. for you to start heading south further still towards the Port of Eldath. So by the time over the course of the day, you find the pathway that diverges, called Soon's pathway, where that basically takes you along the road to the Mountains of Mistra, to Shutian's farm. To basically use like the shortcut that a lot of people use these days to get you to the capital. So that's this like pathway here that people use. So instead of having to go basically all the way down past like Bane City and all the way past the Landed Town through Stuart's Causeway to the capital, they can use Soon's pathway instead as a shortcut. And and people are using it, and the mountains of Mistra themselves look covered in snow. Like it's going to be a dangerous pathway in itself. But even saying that, traveling that direction probably saves a good month or two of travel. So it's worth the risk for a lot of people. And so you see people like basically going, the people you probably saw with you in Spits and Sparts down from Helm City are actually splitting off to go across Soon's pathway, where you're still heading down to the Port of Eldath. Some people are still traveling with you to the Port of Eldath as well, roughly. But there's a majority of people look like they're heading to the capital to try and make their way in the big city as they go. You get to the point where you're probably about half day's travel. So the sun is set. It's just about to be nighttime or evening for you all, and you're about half a day's travel from the Port of Eldath. You've got a decision you can make whether to carry on in the dark to the Port of Eldath or to rest up the night, and then you'll be able to basically hit the Port of Eldath basically first thing in the morning the next day. What would you like to do?
I don't think there's any sense in pushing the horses. Probably better or just to rest and go there tomorrow, right?
Well, after this, the horse is going to be getting a lot of rest because this is where we leave them. So we could, and then we'd be able to get an earlier start from the port.
Yeah.
Don't know if you want to do anything here.
The port. Probably.
Other than possibly bother the High Priest of Eldath the same way we bothered the High Priest of Helm.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we probably want to like scope out considering it's a new town. For supplies, if we can find anything else that's potentially going to help us, because it's different town, could have different stuff in it. As you said, yeah,
We're not going to be able to use the house once we get there as well.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. So that
Can't. No, once you get to the pool, we're not going to be able to use the house because we're going to have to keep a watch.
Oh yeah. We've still got the hut.
Don't know when our enemies are going to turn up.
Yeah. But we've got the hut for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't use the house. True. But yeah, it's like, so there's anything in the market and stuff. So, and that's best done during the day anyway. So yeah, we can rest up and then get to the town tomorrow.
Okay. So you decide to take a relatively earlier night than usual to relax, prepare yourself for entering the Port of Eldath the next morning, and anything else you wish to do during this time.
Oh, are we stopping? I thought we were pushing on.
I
Still got the wrong end of the stick.
thought we were stopping.
Okay.
No, fair enough.
Do you want to be there? Do you want to be there for the morning or for the evening?
I don't mind stopping, unless we need to push.
Quicker the better was my thought, but
Yeah. I suppose, yeah, we want to get there for the morning, right? So that means we're gonna have to, so we're gonna have to push it. That's fine. Yeah, we'll do that then instead.
If you push now, you'll get there for late. Like it'll be.
We'll get there really late in the
Mhm.
evening, and then we can go to bed, and then we can like start doing stuff in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas
True.
if we wait here, we'll get up in the morning and then get there like halfway through the morning.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
You ride on till the Port of Eldath then. It is probably the closer you are to any city, the more people you see camping, and you probably have a little bit of temptation to stop because it's like, people all stop in, but no, you carry on all the way through, and you do get to the Port of Eldath. When you first arrive, it is late at night. It's probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. The first thing you notice is that while they let you in, the floor. So what normally in like in Helm City, for example, it was stone ground, but in the Port of Eldath, it is like a carpet of moss. It's a little bit springy, and you notice that a lot of people, the people who've like letting you in, don't have any footwear, even at this late at night, late in the year. When you arrive, they allow you to take the horse in, and the evening is yours. I assume you drop off the horse, you go, turn around, back out the city, and go into Plainer house. And then the rest of the evening, so it's like 11 o'clock at night, very late for you all. You're into Plainer house. What would you like to do?
Go to bed, I think.
Which do our usual sort of evening training and then
Mm.
go to bed.
Cool. So, if there's nothing else anyone wants to do during your long rest, then
Sorry, quick question. Tamaran doesn't need to sleep, does it?
No.
Tamaran is a summon, so
But then obviously, does Krusk need to be conscious for it to exist?
Yeah, I think
yes,
it's
concentration.
Okay, so that okay, never mind then. Because I was thinking, oh well, because technically Talari doesn't have to rest for 8 hours. So I was thinking like for her to practice her thing while everyone's asleep with Tamaran just flying next to her. But that can't happen. That's fine.
Tamaran only lasts for an hour or so at a time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Anyway,
Never mind then.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
but you can certainly do that on your broom.
Yeah. I should be doing that as well anyway.
Cool.
Practicing our like dive and increase, you know.
To be fair, you could probably imagine like an assault course of sorts.
Oh
with,
yeah,
like
that's
little groups in trees. Do you try and like dip and dive and swat through? Test yourself. But that's absolutely fine. As night goes into day, you are at the Port of Eldath, and the morning is yours. So now you're actually entering the Port of Eldath in the light time. One thing you notice of the Port of Eldath is that this is a city surrendered to nature. There are vines that wreath the outer walls, and the stone itself looks as if it has not been maintained since the walls were first built. Like as if the vines themselves are holding the walls up rather than the stone. Inside the city, the ground is a carpet of moss and grass, and most of the residential buildings are cleared away for a grove of trees with houses built within the trees themselves, like a series of tree houses to an extent. There are still traditional buildings there, like the stables you left your horse at, but there are no doors on these buildings, and the moss or slash grass extends into them. You notice especially that here winter is not making its presence felt as it was in other places. There is a natural warmth to this place. There's still a brief chill in the air, but actually with the moss or the grass as it is, there's a relatively nice warmth to it. And every resident of the Port of Eldath don't wear shoes, and there are no obvious guards within the city. What you do see, however, are gardeners. Gardeners everywhere, maintaining all sorts of the the foliage around. The what you see is that in as you're walking through is that there's like a patch of like mushrooms that have grown, and you see like a handful of gardeners just tending to it very carefully so that it's not overgrowing in that one specific place, and they're looking to transplant it to another portion of a tree on the other side of the city, so that the biodiversity of the place can be like maintained and not one specific organism has like dominion over another potentially. In the city center, there is a community pool. So instead of the temple of Eldath, there's a pool is this community pool, and the priests there are doing washes of people. So any person, be there, no matter who they are, where they're from, or their background, can enter the pool and submit themselves to be washed by the priests, so that they can um, ease their burdens and again seek peace. If you toe in the water, the water is a nice warm temperature of a warm bath. It's like the perfect temperature that you can just slip into. The training ground, you might have noticed, there is no sounds of fighting there. Instead, it is a agility course designed around by the trees. That's the city for you. What would you like to do?
Let's go for a bath.
Go and get washed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we have a shower in the house, but yeah. I was going to say no, Thoradin hasn't bathed for ages, but I'm sure he has.
I'm sure all of your fellow residents are down.
Yeah.
We would insist if we have to share a house with you, Thoradin, you're having a wash.
Yeah.
I think it's been a while since I've had the bath as well, actually. Been a bit
Peace.
distracted.
I was thinking, I think.
I got far more the impression it was like a more of a ritual thing than an actual like having a shower thing. But am I wrong there?
It's a community bath, so like people will leave you to it if you're not that fussed into it. But the priests are there to like tend to you. So if you want to relax yourself from the burdens, like this is a city of peace. They want you to be at peace, and they will try and facilitate your needs to do so.
Do people look at us? Do people look at us funny because we haven't taken our shoes off?
No.
Okay.
So you can obviously tell who are the residents here and who are like the travelers who come through, and that's with the fact that people are wearing shoes. That's a very common tell of the city dwellers, or the regular travelers, or the people who are from or born or live here regularly. But there's some priests there giving talks as well in the bath area. There's no such thing as a free bath, unfortunately. You do have to listen. You can't be there and not be preached at in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, but you can all have a wash, be washed, be cleansed of the weariness of travel, if you feel any.
I don't think Talari likes the idea of just being in the pool with other people. Like, that's just
Yeah,
all
that
kinds of
is-
disgusting. You know, that's like people touching you from every direction. You know, all at once. Just, no, no.
Why would they touch? Oh, what?
Because they're in the
bath
pool as well.
water?
Yeah, that's all just sloshing around, all their filth and germs.
Yeah.
It's just a nightmare.
It's a bit of a germaphobe is Talari.
Oh yeah,
Is
that's
it like cloudy water as well? Because it's warm,
Oh,
so you
Oh.
can't really
No.
see.
oh
No, okay.
no.
It's not cloudy. It's
Figuring it's just a bit like a swimming pool or a hot
Yeah.
spring or whatever.
Lovely.
just to that extent.
Yeah, I mean, I would. This is our last chance to get supplies. Whatever anyone needs, if they want to get some, I don't know, healing potions. See if they have any growth potions or any other potions we might find useful. I mean, Bale's weapons, don't they? I think they deal fire damage, do they not? Just gonna quickly pull that up.
Force. His morning star does
Oh,
force.
force and necrotic. I mean, you know, his main weapon of choice deals necrotic and force. I mean, whether that's, I don't know if you can get a potion with force resistance, but necrotic, sure, they probably.
I've already got something for force resistance.
That's handy.
But I wonder if we could get something for you guys too. We should shop around.
Yes.
Meet Sally.
I mean, if there's something if this is a peace-loving town, maybe they have ways of pacifying enemies.
Well, she puts a hand up to the brooch on her shoulder. Well, it's all about defense. So hopefully.
Because I think our biggest danger is the teleporting, because that would make them very difficult to pin down. But again, I don't know whether that's something we can necessarily stop.
Got the shackles, but
Yes.
sure that would help.
I think that's probably the best you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe that's something else we should practice. But yeah, supplies and see if we can find anything of interest.
What?
That's my plan anyway. I don't know what the rest of you are going to be doing.
No, I think that's probably about right.
I'll come as your sugar daddy. Pay for everything. Probably all poor.
I have my own money now, Thoradin.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
Very
mean,
kind
if
of
you're
you, though.
offering. Nah, I have a bunch of healing potions and things.
I made
do
sure to
I
buy
have?
healing potions, but if we can find more items that can
Potion of healing.
resist, then that would be pretty good.
Potion of. Slightly smaller potion of healing.
Yes, because I may not be able to
What?
get to ease quickly enough.
Now, I don't remember spending all my gold, but it seems that I've spent all my gold. So I'm now at 0,
You
3
spent-
silver, and 9 copper.
I
Yeah,
can't
you
remember what you
bought
spent.
potions last time.
Ah,
Bought
yes,
a
I
load of
did. I
potions,
did.
And you spent loads of money on the teleporting.
I was going to say,
That's
teleporting
also
was
true.
being the big one.
That's also true. Okay, so that would have cleared me out. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Right. Okay, cool. Yep. Daisy doesn't care about money. It's fine. Just wanted to triple check where I was going.
Oh, see, it's always nice to know your options.
Very true.
Yeah.
So, you want some potions potentially?
Potentially.
If you want to go to the alchemist, that's probably the best potion place for you all.
Can't poison him. Typical. most big things can't be poisoned.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
can't be poisoned.
If you use poison damage against him with the coating
Mm.
on the weapon,
True.
then he would become able to be hurt by poison.
Mm.
If that's how you want to go about it. Yeah. So you go to the alchemists, and inside the alchemists is many and many a glass jar are full of effervescing potions, potions of many different colors, of different opaquenesses, different. What some are suspended in, like perpetually moving, so they don't touch the actual glass that they're in for danger, well, for whatever reason, you don't know. You go in, and the keeper behind's like, welcome, welcome, welcome. What a lovely day it is today. How may I be of service to you all, wonderful people?
The gods go chipper. Okay. Talari, do you want to take this one?
So, hypothetically, if you were going to fight one of these, and she puts down the thing for Bale, what would you suggest?
Oh, whoa. Oh, oh dear. Hmm. That is a pickle of a.
Hypothetically, of course.
Certainly. Well, I have some potions, as you might have guessed, here in this place. That is there a potion that does against necrotic? I have some potions that are effective against necrotic damage.
Yeah, there's a potion of resistance, and you can get a different one
yeah.
for different.
Just didn't see it in the list initially. But yeah, these come at, what's my list? At 450 gold a potion. If you're willing to splurge, I have a this wonderful cloak, mantle, shall we say, of spell resistance. If anyone tries to fire magic at you, then that goes for about 5,000 gold. If you've got the gold for such a thing, do you need anything silvering? I can get something silvered for you if you so desire.
I don't believe so. No, everyone has magical-based equipment. So.
That's a nice hypothetical solution.
Hypothetically, yes.
I have some courage potions, as I like to call it. They allow you to stare any demon in the eye without being frightened if you're in need of any of that. You do have 5 and fear potions.
So we already have one of those.
Yeah. That hypothetically, we're okay with that. So it's fine.
Wasn't that good? Well,
I'm trying to think what else is. Yeah, these 5,000 gold ones. I'm not sure unless Thoradin, could you afford something of that expense?
Just it's a mantle of spell resistance. So it's like a cloak that's got like a coating on it. The potions of resistance, so there's the swath of them. They're 450 gold a pop, a potion.
Do you have
so if you want a necrotic one, then you can. It's 450 gold.
To be fair, that cloak is actually probably really good for Krusk.
I was thinking that actually.
You have advantage on saving throws against spells while you're wearing this cloak.
I'm already capped out there. Something.
Is there anything that you can afford to get? I suppose.
I don't know. I think it's quite good at the moment.
Okay.
Well, the ring of Haiss is probably the only
That's quite
Um,
handy though.
It is. I think it's the only thing you could argue is
You've
Yeah.
used it once.
I forget, but it is really good. It gives me an AC boost as well.
This is true. Oh yeah, that plus 30. Got to be above 30.
Yeah, indeed.
Because the only other thing I can think of is like a strength potion for Nadia, just to give her extra oomph,
Extra.
Yeah.
If she needs the
Extra,
help.
extra.
I mean, obviously, it won't be. It's still not to Thoradin's heights, but
Nobody's on Thoradin's height. Thoradin has got life strength.
Get on my level.
you can get closer. There's stuff here that's for makes you 25 or 23. I think there's an uncommon one that gets you to 21.
I am
I'd-
currently only on 18. I have a measly +4.
So it's still not too bad actually. Trying to think what else would benefit us.
But that would actually be quite a good benefit because it would just make everything better.
Yeah, because I mean, we know that he's hard to hit, because I assume they don't have an AC, but they know he's hard to hit. And obviously, yeah, increasing your strength obviously increases your to hit as well as your damage,
That's
which
what
is
I
going to be
was
hugely
thinking.
helpful.
My average. I've got a +9 to my to hit. Meaning my average is 19.
Rage increases that, doesn't it, or not?
Rage only increases your damage.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Pretty certain rage only increases your damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, strength checks and saving throws, but not attacks specifically. Not attacks.
Yeah.
And then you get +3 melee damage with strength-based weapons.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, that could potentially be helpful. Just giving her extra damage.
makes me more consistently better.
Mm.
At stuff.
I mean, it's either that or get you all. Well, Desi said she's okay, but maybe getting Thoradin and Nadia, the necrotic resistance, because it's with his Morning Star. So if Talari and Krusk are in the air, we're not likely to get smacked by it. We're most likely going to get hit by something else. So
Yeah, I
if you two
combined
are
two of
taking all of
those.
that, yeah.
Is it 450? 500?
450 per resistance potion.
Is that an hour? How long's that?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's only for that one element. If you want to get, there is one that does all resistance, but that's a rare, so that's going to be 4,000 plus.
No, I think we'll go with the necrotic. Do you want to? Shall I get them both, Nadia, or?
Do you mean both the strength one and the resistance one, or?
Or do you want to get your own? I don't mind
I
paying
can
for
buy it.
both.
I can buy it. Well, you go if you want to buy me a potion, Thoradin, you buy me a potion.
Alright, I get the two necrotic ones for us.
Maybe I should get the strength one. Is there a strength one, Matt? I
There
didn't know if
is.
that was just only theorizing.
No, it's a
OC. What strength would that give me? Or do
the cheapest one is the potion of Hill Giant Strength, which takes you up to 21. So that would cost around 600 gold for a potion of Hill Giant Strength. If you want to go up to a potion of Frost Giant Strength, which takes you up to strength of 23, that would take you up to that would cost 4,500 gold.
There is
you
also
wanna go-
Fire Giant, which goes to 25.
Yeah, if you want Fire Giant, that's going to be 10,000.
Yeah, I don't think I could afford that. The only one I can reasonably get is the little one, which puts me up to a +5 rather than a +4
Maybe a little helps with
on
this.
my thing. What's that? 600.
600
Give or
gold
take.
for a potion of Hill Giant Strength. You see in there that it's a transparent liquid with a silver fingernail from what you suspect to be a hill giant.
It's a hill giant. Ew.
And he looks and like, hey, if you want the strength, you're gonna need something from him, and that's the smallest thing I can get at.
Yeah, that makes sense. There we go. I've added one of them.
Cool.
Put that in my thing. Now I've just got to not forget I fucking well got it.
Hmm.
How long does they last? An
An
hour.
hour. Hmm.
Good. Rising fingernail from a hill giant, so it does. Yeah. Do you think that's a bit weird? Do you have to drink the fingernail?
No.
Good.
It's like the worm you get in the whiskey, right? You don't.
Yeah, you shouldn't drink the worm.
No.
Worm you get in the whiskey. I've never seen the point of worms in whiskey. Like, why are they there?
Who knows? It's
They
probably
don't seem hygienic to me.
no.
Then again, the amount of alcohol they're floating in probably killed any germs.
That's very true.
Very true. Okay. Is there anything else anyone's perusing? Any ideas people
Don't
wish?
think
There's a
so.
potion of growth. I can't life me remember what I said last time, but I'm going to say it's around 500 gold for a potion of growth. If that tickles anybody's fancies.
No, I don't want to be big. Have enough problems.
That's fine.
The only other thing I can think of is spell scrolls, maybe. Like you can get a specific spell scroll, but
You have to be capable of casting the spell
right.
to use the
Maybe.
spell scroll.
Well, with Cross being a sorcerer, they've got a pretty. I mean, obviously it's not a wizard, but they've got a fairly large. Yeah.
Is there a spell
I
that
don't.
Krusk has got a hankering for that you can't cast as of right now because it hasn't leveled up since.
Trying to think
That you-
Maybe.
what kind of spell would be useful against.
I don't
It's-
know. Just more summons, maybe.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I can. Well, yeah, the only things I can think of would be bad for us, which is like an anti-magic field or something, but that's not going to be all that great. Yeah. No, I mean, we've got all those traps and stuff. I think we're probably about as prepared as we can probably be. Yeah, the necrotic things will help because it is still 2d8, and if he's hitting, he can hit you with that twice in a turn. So having a resistance against that, and you're already going to have the resistance against the weapon itself. Oh no, you're not, because it's force base. There's no bludgeoning on that.
So, if we're done in the alchemy shop, Desi was going to try find. It's a brooch, so I guess a jewellery shop.
There's plenty of like tinkerers and things down to Smith's Alley.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
looking for like the brooch I currently have to see if there's more.
Sure. So you're
Like-
gonna what was the brooch again?
Brooch of shielding.
You want more
Specifically, it gives
brooch.
you resistance to force damage.
The
That's handy.
brooch of shield. Okay, so you can find more. So there's a tinkerer's shop that you find that when you like produce the brooch, you're like, I have one or two of those. Do you need more? How many more do you need?
Okay. Let me just confer quick. Like, how much is one?
What do you need it for?
Well.
Defending ourselves?
Okay.
I saw what happened the last time, Talari. I've got this, okay?
Okay, dokie.
You need it for defense. Are you seeking the fight, or is the fight coming to you?
Fight's always coming to us.
All right, I like your spirit, and I'll say a fine brooch made by yours truly costs a modicum of 550 gold each.
Great. If you would kindly excuse me for a moment, I just have to confer, because obviously I have one, but this is for my friends. Turn around to
Sure
the
thing.
others. Shift them closer to the door. Okay, so it's 550 gold each, but this this was my mother's, and I attuned to it, and basically that little, I think that what does it say on that thing? It like forcibly damages you or some shit. It doesn't feel like a regular weapon. I think this helps with that. But I had to attune to it, which means you all have to attune to it, which is obviously a downside. 550 gold each. Whoever wants to go get one, get one.
I mean, sounds very useful. You'll be resistant to its main form of damage.
Feel like it'll help.
Y'all need it without attunement. I may have one or two of those.
Is that possible?
Well, anything's possible. It's just a matter of cost.
How much?
It'd be cheaper, really.
Paper. My boy.
What's
It
it?
costs.
How
I,
much?
I would for you kind folk. I sense a good vibe off of y'all, and for I'm selling this at a loss. I'm selling these at a loss for this, but for a low price of 1,000 gold each, I will allow. I only got 2 of these, I'm afraid, but I'll allow y'all to take these off my poor hands, and I'll be left with my heart depleted if you leave with these. But I will have solace that you'll go having these instead.
Insight.
Thoradin's gonna sarcastically clap.
What-
Great performance.
What are you trying to garner with your insight?
Are they actually
Tell
worth
me.
1,000 gold, this selling son of a bitch?
Oh, what? Probably.
I
They're
suppose.
probably worth more, like considering, it's like
Right,
it's
right.
you are aware of that, because like, so when you've ever had to so for Ulva's cloak of the of whatever it is, I can't remember off my head. Ulva's special
It's like
cloak.
cape of protection or something.
Yeah, the cloak of protection. Like, so for that to be not required attunement, it costs
I had
more.
to pay extra, yeah.
What is it normally
But
like?
I don't
Triple the
think-
cost, or like what's
Well, that
normally
was
the
only
markup
double
for
the
that?
cost.
Okay.
I think it cost. Can't remember now. It cost.
Right.
I remember it cost like maybe 100 or a couple of hundred gold more, but I can't remember what the original cost of the item was. But
Hmm.
it's not be taking completely the piss.
Okay.
It was cloak of protection was 500. I think it was like 700, 800. I think.
Yeah.
But there was
it
time on top of that as well, so it took like
Yeah, it
a
was
few
like one and
days.
1.5 times the cost, and it took a few days. But so yeah, he's not completely
And
taking
he's giving
the
it
piss.
to us straight out of hand, so okay.
Yeah, he's not completely taking the piss. I suppose this is like
What was the what was the first price he gave you? 550.
550.
550 and now
550.
1,000.
So he's only just
So
knocked
it's
50 off.
nearly double.
Yeah. Then double, yeah.
Technically, if it is double, you're getting 100
We are,
gold
we are
discount.
talking
100.
about
But he is
force
laying it on a
resistance
bit
for like
thick.
He
Yeah.
is laying on thick.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true.
thing.
But then yeah,
For
force
like
permanent. Basically, what we're to say is like permanent force resistance, which is obviously
Permanent force resistance.
pretty
You don't
boss.
ever
Yeah.
have to unattune to it, which
Yeah.
might be really useful, and I'm very tempted to get one.
Especially for
There's only 2.
barbarians.
If you're willing to wait longer, maybe a day or 3 or 4, I can
No,
maybe
we're on a
scrounge
time
up some
limit.
more.
We're on a
Noble
time
tends
limit.
to find us quickly. Hey, so
I'll buy
Thoradin, you
one
said
of
about
them.
being a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
I'll buy one of them. I could use some protection. I have
Oh,
a feeling.
I'll buy the other.
Feeling I'm going to get
wow.
hit pretty hard in the near future.
Yeah.
My oh my, well, I'm glad that I was able to find these for y'all. It's a pleasure doing business. Is there anything else I can wish to service your desires today?
What's it called, Matt?
Uh,
Approach your shield.
Both brooch of shielding.
Okay.
Says you have to attune to it, but you should be able to manually add
Yeah,
How do I
resistance
do
to your
that?
defenses.
you can finagle with that. Is there
Cool.
anything else y'all wish to purchase?
Hmm.
That was mainly it for me.
Yeah. I think that's probably got us covered as much as we can possibly be covered. Without, clearing Thoradin out.
I'm sure we could try.
Sounds good. No, no, no.
What
Nah.
else y'all need? I got loads of doodads and thingamajigs. What do you want? What do you want it to do, and I'll make it do it.
That's a very big claim. Very big claim.
Nothing's really coming to mind at the moment.
Well, that's a shame. I bid thee farewell and many lucks on your defense.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully not poor anymore.
Is 2,000 gold richer?
Yeah.
He bids you farewell, and
Yeah, we can push back off.
the rest. Then anything else y'all wish to do in the Port of Eldath?
So I'm broke as fuck now.
Thought you were already broke as fuck.
Yeah, I was, but now I also spent Sugar Daddy's money, so
Yeah, but that's not your money, so you're
yeah,
fine.
feel like an IOU.
There's always more money to be made out there, Terry. Don't worry.
Desi. It's okay.
Yeah.
Deszeldmiir, yeah. It's not Turrigatha anymore. Do we want to go and see if we can talk to the priest?
we,
I've spoken to a priest recently. I'm pretty done with priests. If you guys want to talk to a priest, I'll just sit in the back for a while.
Well, going to talk to the priest of Helm helped us.
That's true.
supposing.
And Eldath is another one on the long list of people who have tried to get me on side. So presumably she wants, like, the help.
But as we know, that the god and their supposedly head priests aren't always sharing
On
notes.
the same, yeah, anywhere near. Like they're not even reading the same book sometimes.
Hmm. So I don't think it's a given to just expect that they're gonna just know that, Eldath contacted you.
No. No.
Well, it's
I could
Also,
tell
also,
Eldath.
also,
Tell Eldath what we were up to.
also,
Hopefully she's not pissed at us.
I think, yeah. Also, I don't think. I mean, obviously, it depends on what you're going to talk to them about. But I think, alluding to any of our future plans might not go over so well.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not really going to discuss it in the middle of the town.
No, that's fair.
But if we're gonna,
We're basically starting a fight, yeah, you make a good point.
in a place that is potentially sacred to them.
Oh, this is why I warned her we were doing it.
Yes, but at least they, Eldath, the deity, can't necessarily prevent us from doing so. These people could.
You make a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of that.
So, yes, we
If
should.
you don't think we should. No, if you don't think we should, then.
I mean,
we
if
won't.
you're planning on talking about something completely different, then it's fine, as long as it's not about the immediate future.
If I start talking to them about our plans, I'm going to end up telling them what we're planning on doing.
So then it's probably safer not to then.
It's going to happen.
It's probably safer not to then. Right. I mean, if we're done here, then we might as well.
Not any good at lying or
That's fair.
keeping my mouth shut.
That's very fair. I say we just start heading off then. We want to get there early, so
Alright, we're leaving the horse here.
yes.
Do you think we should leave Olva here as well, considering what we're going to do?
Well, I mean, Olva would be very helpful, will she not? I don't see she's helped us.
Yeah, but she's not as tough as we are.
I guess. I mean, she's been in a lot of encounters with us previously, and she's been joining in with our training.
Yes, she has.
It would seem a bit of a, well, I mean, you've got a connection with Olva. You can always ask her. Guess. Or you could just buy a potion of, I don't know, if there's a potion of
What?
speak with animals or something. And
Well, that's the
Yeah.
other thing. She won't be immune to the fear aura. Will she?
No.
Unless we give her one of the potions.
there is that. But this
'Cause then
is,
one of us won't have a
but
potion.
you know, as Olva's, I guess, partner, it's really up to you both to decide what ends up happening. It is a very dangerous fight, probably the most we've ever had.
Exactly.
Krusk left Sooty behind for their protection.
And with
Can't
animals,
left City behind for our protection.
with
And
animals,
their
and
protection.
worth noting, with animals and creatures, they don't. But I may not necessarily be able to bring them back. They will in time for a spell to resurrect them. As a person has a little bit more extra fortitude.
If it was a fair fight and she died, it would be a shame. But that is what happens. But I don't think it's going to be a fair fight.
I mean, one would argue that our previous one that she was involved in was neither. It was also not a fair fight.
It's a far less fair fight, I feel, than it's a far less fair fight, I feel, than most of our previous.
I mean, they're certainly going to be smarter. This the one that our immediate opposition is probably going to be one of the smartest we've fought
Yeah,
in a long time.
smarter, stronger.
Indeed. And we still don't really understand his numbers. We only know of one accomplice. We have no idea if there's more. I personally don't believe there's only going to be 2 of them. But if we are, like I said, if we are going to discuss this, we probably should do so in the house.
Yeah. Sure.
Dululu in the house.
Transition scene.
You're outside. I'll say you're out. You've wandered outside the city walls, so you're able to just get on the road as soon as you're back out.
Yeah.
Before you entered the house.
Yeah, so close enough so that if we do want to drop over off, we can. But yeah, we're not qualified to answer that question, Nadia. It's much like Krusk with Sooty, you know. Krusk ultimately decided to leave Sooty with Arg. The organ you would have to make that decision yourself. Obviously, we could use all the help we can get, but yes.
Yeah. If I ask Olva,
Mm-hmm.
what does she?
How do you phrase your question to all that?
Probably just that we're going to fight a really, really, really big demon. It's going to be dangerous for us, let alone for her. She might not survive. Would she still want to come? I might not be able to protect you.
Ulva puts like a paw on your lap. I imagine like you're like you're eye level with Ulva.
I mean,
So she-
to be fair, she's a direwolf. Her eye level was probably like only just below mine when I'm standing up.
True.
She's huge.
Yeah, I'd imagine you've like stooped to some extent.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
So Ulva like puts a paw on your leg, and there's a tiny moment of like clarity between the two of you, and
Nadia has distinct suspicions that Ulva is like blessed by Sylvanas. Distinct suspicions.
there's a very brief moment of clarity where Ulva's intentions become clear. Ulva wants to be with you for your journey, but once you arrive at the destination, Ulva might like disappear to not be part of the immediate danger. But Ulva doesn't want to leave you here. Plus,
Yeah, I,
there's a slight aspect of being offended of you could leave me here. Come on, I'm a wild thing. What are you doing?
leave you wherever you like, you know.
Mm.
Just not taking you with us. But okay, we'll take you with us, and you can stay out of the fighting.
It licks your nose and it's like in the playful.
Prevent us from getting stabbed in the back.
Hmm.
Which is basically her job anyway.
Very much so.
So, what was the answer?
Oh, she's coming with us.
Oh, okay then.
She's just probably not getting involved in the great big fight we're about to have.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I suppose, her nose
But-
could, in theory, pick up the smell of demons before we pick them up.
Yep. She'll probably be able to know they're coming long before we are, and she'll also probably be able to stop us being counter-ambushed.
Indeed.
Which would just be bloody embarrassing now, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would, after all the preparing we've done. This is probably the first time we've prepared for something,
Yeah.
Gotta
Let's
hope.
see how far it can go to shit.
Oh, this is it, yes. Okay, I guess we should just carry on then.
Absolutely go to shit. Yeah, let's go. Why not?
Cool. So
Are you gonna be alright walking, or are you gonna ride that broom thing?
Oh yeah, she'll be on the broom, definitely. I forgot about that completely. Yeah, she's so sort of used to not having to like traipse through the forests now,
Glide along.
not having to camp out, not having It's like
Yeah, go back to roughing it.
exactly, yeah. So no, she'll use the broom. I'm just going to remind myself if the broom has any limitations on it, but I don't believe it does.
I don't think it does.
no, I'm reading it now as well. It doesn't. It just has a flying speed of 50 feet, which is
Faster than me.
slower. Which is faster than the speed you'd be walking at as a
Mm.
group.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
absolutely
you can
fine.
send the broom a mile away and come back, but that's pointless.
Yeah. Why you'd do that?
I don't know.
Although
Like, maybe like a carrier pigeon or something.
probably-
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true actually. They probably after the first little while, a damn uncomfortable ride. I mean, imagine sitting on a pole like that for hours
yeah.
and hours and hours.
Well, that's why that's kind of part of the reason she's been practicing. Plus, she's probably doing it like both two legs on one side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still,
can't-
that's a lot of
but yeah.
pressure on a small area.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You're
Oh yeah,
gonna have
definitely.
You can't defeat saddle soreness. That's for sure.
No. But yeah, no. She'll probably
But-
think of ways later to make that better, but for now, it's not really her immediate concern.
So you're able. So for the rest of the day that you have, let's say it's probably midday by the time you actually have done all your business and decide, yep, we carry on and make your way.
Mm.
So for the rest of the day, you're able to probably get to the point in the road where you suspect is the right time to turn off
Mhm.
before it's time to go to bed.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
On something, if it's possible, because I thought about it earlier.
Sure.
So we already said that I couldn't use the Ant-Man logs to throw to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Because it would grow and I couldn't throw it. If I'm airborne, however, that doesn't matter anymore. I can just, exactly, because literally you hold it like this, say the word and it falls. Right?
True.
Matt, you're gonna regret giving us a whole bag of these things and the Talari fly around the battlefield. Drop your fucking logs
If you're
off,
on your
mate.
broom, make sure whatever angle you're doing it at, you don't accidentally hit the top or bottom of your broom.
Oh yeah, you'll just
Yeah.
do this off into the distance.
True. Well, it's something she can it's something she can practice because these are on and off things, right? So,
No.
well, once they use a
you just
yeah.
get a bump and then it's done.
Mm.
It doesn't shrink
Right.
back down.
No.
Okay.
They would have cost more.
Fair enough. But then we
So,
have because we have
one
got
year.
Talari,
because
if
we've got
you drop a log on my head.
well, I will try not to, but it was just an idea.
If
I've
you
got
drop
50.
a fucking log on my
We've
head,
got 50 of these things.
I'm gonna
It's just-
find a way to get
just
up to where
practice.
you are so that I can slap you.
Yeah.
Just remember, give us fair warning. Say logs away.
I think the idea would be to do it quietly, so any enemies didn't like look up and dodge.
Yeah, so we end up fucked on the floor. No, shout logs away. They won't understand what it means.
Well, twig pretty quickly.
Yeah, after the first one, sure.
After the first one.
But yeah, mechanically, I don't know if that works.
So you can. So it takes an action to undo the reduce spell. So you could, at height, undo the reduce spell and drop it, and it would fall. But I think the maximum something it can fall in around is like 300 foot. I think D&D.
Oh, before it
500.
becomes terminal velocity.
No, so it's something. So I think the way it works is that it falls basically the maximum in its action turn, but immediately, and then in the next turn it falls the maximum again.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like per action, you're adding a d6
It's-
basically.
It's
Yeah.
500 feet per round.
Yeah.
Why
So
did I researched this because I lost my flying boots.
yeah, we discussed it, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Don't lose your wings when you like when you're too far up, otherwise you're just gonna fuck
Yeah,
up and go
basically.
splat,
I've discussed this with Matt. I have a plan.
or to not
So-
go splat.
So yeah, so 500 foot is the max height you could drop in a round on its basically when you activate it will drop at most 500 foot on that turn, and then it will just have. I'll have to get back to you on how
That's
much
fine.
damaged.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, that's certainly feasible. You probably wouldn't be able to move your on your broom on that while you're doing it because of the extra weight in that temporary moment
hmm
of the log. So like it certainly exceed the 400 pounds limit.
Yeah. But the idea was kind of like a mic drop such in a scenario. So it'd be
Oh, yeah.
like there
But
and then
for
literally.
that momentary, but you have to obviously you're holding it for the action, so like for
Yeah.
that momentary second, like it's the
But
broom's like no, and then you let go. It's like okay, it's
Yeah,
fine.
no, that's fine. I mean,
But
I
if you-
did it. I
if you
literally,
have to be still.
I literally sprang it on you, so it's fine. You've got time to think about how it's going to work mechanically, so it's fine.
It's going to be entertaining, I'm sure.
Mm.
But yeah, it's feasible. I would say for sure. So next time on the Ascendant Lands, how much practice can Talari get with these hollow logs before it gets annoying for everyone else? How far into the wilderness can you get? Or can you actually get all the way to the Pool of Eldath? Will you be able to prepare for Bale's arrival? Who knows until next time on the Ascendant Lands.